Hey guys, welcome back to MU Sports TV. This is where you get all the news regarding Manchester United. So guys, Manchester United are still in the market trying to boost the squad ahead of next season. And there are a number of players that have been linked to Manchester United over the past weeks. And United are stepping up their efforts in order to secure the services of some players that they are interested in. Remember, United have already signed two players. If I can add Diego Leon, three players now for next season. With Mateus Cunha already arrived at the club, made his first unofficial debut on against Leeds on Saturday. He signed from Wolves in a deal worth £62.5 million. Brian Mbeumo has been confirmed. Here we go from Brentford in a deal worth 71 million plus add-ons. That is, it's been done. Just now, what's remaining is the official announcement, which I can confirm exclusively that it is imminent. The announcement of Brian Mbeumo is imminent, and few hours from now, the official photos and the official confirmation by Manchester United of the signature of Brian Mbeumo from Brentford will be officially made, and I can confirm that Brian Mbeumo will be given the number 19 at Manchester United, previously worn by Rafael Varane. After his departure, the number has been vacant, and Mbeumo joining from Brentford. Initially, he was wearing this 19 at Brentford, and it seems that it's going to continue his legacy at Manchester United, wearing the same number he wore last season at Brentford. That is confirmed after official photos were leaked online yesterday of Brian Mbeumo in Manchester United training gear with number 19 printed on the jersey. So, Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United, guys, is here we go. I think he has finished all the medicals were completed days ago. The paperwork have been done. Maybe the visa is still what is holding the club from announcing the deal, but it is going to be announced imminently, and if not today, then early tomorrow. But Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United, guys, it is done. Mbeumo is training with Manchester United players, but until the official confirmation from the club is made, there will be no photos of him being shared by the club regarding him in training. But official confirmed, Mbeumo will wear number 19 at Manchester United next season. So guys, after the arrival of Mateus Cunha and now Brian Mbeumo from Brentford, United are still interested in signing a couple of players, because it is now evident that United needs to boost their squad in order to be competitive next season. Last season it was abysmal, very disappointing, very embarrassing season, because United finished 15th in the Premier League. That is not what we want to repeat itself again this next season. We want to have a different performance than the one we had last season. And previously, the club main vision for next season, or the mission, is to finish in the top 6 position and the top 6 places. And that won't happen. That won't happen. And I can say it without fear of contradiction, guys. That won't happen if we want to boost the squad. After what I saw against Leeds on Saturday, I wasn't impressed by the way we played, but somehow you can see there's an idea, but the players doesn't know how to translate the idea. You know, this is something they've been working on in training, but seeing them struggle in the pitch trying to implement what Amorim taught them in training, it is becoming boring to watch now. And it is not that I don't like Casemiro or Luke Shaw, but I think, guys, it's time for us to part ways with Casemiro, Luke Shaw, and we need a goalkeeper. I said that after the game, and I said this, and I said it that pre-season or no pre-season, we need to part ways with Luke Shaw and Casemiro. There's no way we are having Luke Shaw and Casemiro in our first 11 in 2025, guys. It's not 2015, not 2016, it's 2025, and having Luke Shaw starting for us in that back three is just not okay. And Luke Shaw is done. And I think these 3-4-2-1 formation, it requires players who can run. He was being outpaced by in Noto and measure of Leicester and our Leeds. And this is not what we want to happen as far as next season is concerned. And by this, United, after completing Brian Mbeumo and Mateus Cunha deals, they are still interested in signing a goalkeeper and a striker. Also, talk about signing a midfielder. So I'm going to discuss these players that we have been heavily linked with the past 48 hours as United looks to boost their squad. Are these players, are they the one we need as far as next season is concerned? If we sign these players, can United be competitive next season? So one of the players that Manchester United are linked with is the goalkeeper, that is Sen Lamens. Sen Lamens is the new player that has been linked with Manchester United, and I think it is more concrete compared to the ones that we have been linked with for the past 4 weeks that have not been confirmed by the transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano. But for Sen Lamens, it was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano yesterday that Manchester United had contacted his club Royal Antwerp in order to be briefed of the conditions of the deal. United wants to sign Sen Lamens. They can't just ask for information about the to be briefed about the deal, or rather the possibility of signing Sen Lamens if they are not interested. So this means that Manchester United are in the market for a new goalkeeper. And I know this is not coming as a surprise because we all expected United to have a new goalkeeper as far as next season is concerned. And we were hoping that maybe that is Andre Onana will be sold. But after the development that we had, all we had is that Onana will stay and fight for his place. And with Onana staying, it was now becoming difficult for us to sign a goalkeeper because we were depending on that money we could receive from selling Onana in order to bring in another goalkeeper. But if Onana staying, that was going to be a complicated deal. But with Onana's injury, I think United are now waking up. They're stepping up to sign a new goalkeeper. And two goalkeepers have been heavily linked with the move to Manchester United. Sen Lamens of Royal Antwerp and Emiliano Martinez of Aston Villa. So United, they really want to understand how to go about with this deal. Should they sign Emiliano Martinez from Aston Villa, or they should sign Sen Lamens from Royal Antwerp? It is all about the transfer fee involved, because when you look at Sen Lamens, he is 23 years of age. He is a Belgium player, yeah, and he is a highly rated young goalkeeper, and he's one for the future. And United can get him for as low as 20 million pounds. So if it is about the transfer fee involved, I think United could go for Sen Lamens instead. But on the other hand, if you look, Emiliano Martinez is from Aston Villa, that is, and I don't think Villa will accept anything below 30 million in order to part ways with the Argentine international. So are we going to spend 30 million on a player on his 30s? And I think is I don't think if his contract at Aston Villa is made more than 2 years from now. So are we going to spend 30 million on a player on his 30s, or we should spend at least 20 million on a player on his 20s and a young prospect in Sen Lamens? But if you look at United, do we need a short-term solution or a long-term solution? So this is also going to play a part in terms of choosing between Sen Lamens and Emiliano Martinez. Are we going to look for a short-term solution or a long-term solution? So if United are sure that Sen Lamens is a long-term solution as far as we are concerned in that goalkeeping department, we are going for Saint Lamens. But if United want the short-term solution, maybe just for next season, in order to have a clear thought of which goalkeeper they're going to sign as far as long-term solution is concerned. So, will Aston Villa agree to selling Emiliano Martinez for as low as 20 million? Because I think United won't be willing to spend more than 25 million on Emiliano Martinez. We saw how they pulled each other with the Brentford in terms of valuation of Brian Bomo, but at the last time, or at the 11th hour, United agreed to Brentford's demand because Mbomo is a uh, uh, is a good player for that matter. And with now Newcastle being linked with a move for Wisa, and Brentford were not willing to lose both Wisa and Mbomo in the same transfer window, and that made United to quickly submit the bid that were being demanded by Brentford. That is the 71 million pounds. But now, for Emiliano Martinez, he is on his 30s, if I'm not wrong, and we're spending 30 million on him, maybe for 1.5 years. It's not. Will be I think ridiculous. If you look at how we spent 60 million on Casemiro, I don't know how we spent 60 million on Casemiro in the first place. So, do you think we should be going for a long time solution or a short time solution? Saint Lamens or Emiliano Martinez? Guys, if you ask for my opinion, I think there are factors we should consider when choosing between Saint Lamens and Emiliano Martinez. First, I should look at the experience. If you look at the experience, one factor is experience. Um, Saint Lamens is 23 years age. Just to check on Emiliano Martinez. Yeah. So and Martinez is 32 years of age. That is around 9 gap in terms of year difference. So 32 years of age is not that bad. But if you have a young player like Saint Lamens, the transfer market available for as low as that amount, are we going for him or going for Emiliano Martinez? But I was talking about the factors involved. If it is about experience, I'd go for Emiliano Martinez instead of Saint Lamens as far as this season is concerned. Second factor, the transfer fee involved. Martinez, if I say this, Emiliano Martinez won't be. I don't think Aston Villa will be willing to sell him for as low as at 25 million. So if it is about the transfer fee involved, Royal Antwerp is willing to sell Saint Lamens for as low as 20 million. So if it's about transfer fee involved, I'd go for Saint Lamens because spending 25 million or 20 million on a 23 years old who has a potential is far much better than spending 30 to 40 million pounds on a 32 years old who I think has few years left on his playing career. So if it is about the transfer fee involved, I'll go for Saint Lamens. Age, I think Saint Lamens has it. Premier League experience. Now, United so far has signed two players, Mbomo and Konya, who has Premier League experience. So if we are going for a player who has Premier League experience, then let's go for Emiliano Martinez. But the most important factor as far as we are concerned, as at this moment of the club, the state of the club at the moment, the most important factor is the transfer fee involved. And I think Saint Lamens ticks all the boxes in that sector because Antwerp is willing to let him go for as low as 17 to 25 million pounds. So guys, Another player that has been linked, heavily linked now, the past 48 hours, the move to Manchester United, is none other than Benjamin Sesko. This name is not new in our ears as far as we're concerned, because we have been linked with Benjamin Sesko since his days at Salzburg, even before he moved from Salzburg to Leipzig. He has been linked with the move to Manchester United. Is it the right time now to go for him? One thing to note is that Benjamin Sesko is willing to join Manchester United even without the Champions League football. There's one thing I want to note. There is Mateus Cunha, who was willing to join Manchester United even without Champions League football. There is Brian Mbeumo, who was willing to join Manchester United even without Champions League football. There is Emiliano Martinez, who is willing to join Manchester United even without Champions League football. And now we have news that Benjamin Sesko is willing to join Manchester United even without Champions League football. These are the type of players we should be going for. We were interested in Victor Gyökeres. He wanted to play for a club which is in the Champions League. So he was not choosing a club based on passion, or maybe his desire to play for a certain club. He was choosing a club based on which competition the club is, because he wants to play in that competition. We need to sign players who wants to play for Manchester United, not just players who want to feature in certain competitions. And Ruben Amorim was clear when asked about the Gyökeres issue in May. So I'm very, very delighted that Cunha and Mbeumo chose United, even though we are not going to feature in the Champions League or any European football as far as next season is concerned. Same as Emiliano Martinez. Only if Aston Villa could do a deal, or could accept as low as 20 million or 25 million for Emiliano Martinez. These are the kind of players we should be going with. Not that Cunha was not getting interest from other clubs. Arsenal, Spurs, Newcastle were all interested. Bournemouth as well. Arsenal, Newcastle, Spurs were all interested. Spurs are in the Champions League. Newcastle, I think, are in the Europa League, if I'm not wrong. Same as Spurs, Arsenal, but they chose United instead. Gyökeres chose Arsenal because they are in the Champions League. That is why he is headed there. So Benjamin Sesko is interested in joining us, even though we are not featuring in any European football as far as next season is concerned. And as I said earlier, Sesko is not a new name in our ears. He has been linked with the move to Manchester United since his days at Salzburg. Even before he moved to Leipzig, he was linked with the move to Manchester United. So I think it is the right time now to move for Benjamin Sesko. The latest reports are that Manchester United are going to proceed seriously in the market to sign a striker and a goalkeeper, with SENNE, LAMMENS, Martinez and Sesko being monitored in those sectors I have mentioned. Who is Sesko? Sesko is a Slovenian footballer who plays for Leipzig as a striker. He is 22 years old. But where the problem can be is the transfer fee involved. So when you look at Leipzig, when they see how mad the market has been this season, Liverpool signing Ekitike for 95 million euros, signing Florian Wise for 120 million euros, United signing Belmo for 71, Cunha 62, Arsenal signing Madueke for 55 million, Chelsea signing Joao Pedro for 60 million, Elanga to Newcastle 55 million. All these crazy deals in the market. I don't think Leipzig will be willing to do a deal with United regarding Sesko way below 50 million. So in order to bring Sesko to United will need to part ways with at least 65 to 70 million as a total package for Benjamin Sesko. Just want to confirm if I'm right. And according to rumors, is that Benjamin Sesko's price tag has for now is 78 million uh, pounds. 78 million pounds, almost the same fee Liverpool paid for Eketike from uh, Frankfurt to Anfield. So will we spend 78 million after spending 62.5 after spending uh, 71 on Mateus Cunha on Ben Bromo? This is going to be a stumbling block in terms of signing Benjamin Sesko, but we can try. Yeah, we can try. If Leipzig doesn't want to do a deal, then we go for other targets in the transfer market, which I'm going to talk about now. That if Sesko deal doesn't go through, we are going for other targets. So the reason why Arsenal left Sesko deal because of the transfer fee involved. They opted for Gyökeres instead. United are still in the market after missing out on Delap, who waited for United to be knocked out of the Champions League by Spurs in the final in order to make a decision on his next club. It was Chelsea. I think now he might be regretting that move because Chelsea had João Pedro. They have Pedro Neto, they have João Pedro, and they have Gittens. So where will Delap be playing next season, if I'm not mistaken? Tell me that. But at the moment now, United are interested in signing Benjamin Sesko, and if they will be priced out by Leipzig, there are names that they have been linked to that as well as Plan B. There is Oli Watkins from Aston Villa and Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea, which I don't want to discuss. Nicholas Jackson to United, that is just not going to happen and can't happen. So I'm talking about other strikers we can sign on a short-time basis as we look to sign maybe a top striker next season. Oli Watkins from Aston Villa, only if Villa will do a deal below 60 million. We can't sign Watkins for anything above 60 million. There is Mateta from Crystal Palace. Can be available for I think 40 to 50. No, I don't want to talk about Nicholas Jackson. I don't want to talk about Moise Kean. Moise Kean, we know his days at Everton, PSG. I don't think the Premier League suits him well. I just think he needs to stay in Serie A. His situation is the same as Romelu Lukaku, where he can perform in Serie A, but in the Premier League he underperforms. So I think we should avoid Nicholas Jackson. We should avoid Moise Kean at all cost. So if we can't get Benjamin Sesko because of the price involved, the only two strikers we can think of is Mateta from Crystal Palace and Oli Watkins from Aston Villa, only if he would be available for as low as anything, not more than 60 million pounds. There's no way we're gonna sign Watkins for 60 million plus and avoiding to sign a Sesko for 78 million. And I'm very sure we can agree a deal with Leipzig for something not more than 70 million, 65.5 in add-ons, addressing the total package to 71, 72. That can be enough to agree a deal with Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko. But guys, remember, for all these deals to happen, United needs to float some players. Rashford has now left United to join Barcelona. Initial loan deal with an option to buy for around 30 million euros. And the good thing is that Barcelona are going to clear are going to pay his wages, whole wages, and now United are not going to be paying any penny or not going to pay part of Rashford's salary as far as we are concerned. So that means United have cleared the wage bill for Marcus Rashford, and they'll be getting some fee next season, next summer. That is around 30 million euros if Barcelona opt to sign him permanently. I think there is a penalty involved as the one that we had against Chelsea. So if Barcelona default, there's going to be a penalty they're going to pay next summer. We need to float Sancho. There have been news that He's been linked with the move to Juventus, Forest, Aston Villa. We got Garnacho, been linked with the move to Chelsea, Aston Villa interested. Malacia, Anthony. I don't know anything about Anthony. I don't know if he's okay. I don't know where he is at the moment. I only know Sancho and Malacia and Garnacho have been at Carrington training individually as they look to depart United this summer. We still have time, but there's no time to waste. The Premier League starts in around not less than a month from now, and we need to be ready for next season. The Premier League starts next month actually, on the 17th of August, and today is 21st. So in less than a month, the Premier League is starting, and we are starting it on a high note with Arsenal, our first game of the season. We want to face Arsenal on a full depth, and we need these players now before the season starts in 17th of April. So, you think United should go for LAMMENS or Emiliano Martinez, Benjamin Sesko, if we can't agree a deal with the Leipzig concerning Benjamin Sesko? Whom do you think United should go for? Oli Watkins or Mateta? I don't want to discuss the Nicolas Jackson, Moiskin stories because honestly, I'm against any news linking us with Nicolas Jackson. I'm also because we already have Rasmus Højlund, so why go for Nicolas Jackson in the first place? Yeah, if we want to sign Nicolas Jackson, then let's just stay with our Rasmus Højlund. So any news or any news outlets trying to link up with the Nicolas Jackson guys, stop it, and we're not interested. Chelsea, we're not Arsenal, whom you think you can just, after the mistake we did with Mason Mount, I don't think we should be falling that trap again with Chelsea. How can we go for somebody that the Chelsea doesn't want, unwanted player at Chelsea, be our main striker for next season? I've watched Jackson. He's a good player, but sometimes he's annoying. And we don't want that next season as far as we're concerned. So, Nicolas Jackson, Moiskin, as far as I'm concerned, we should not even talk about them at all. At all. Sesko, Watkins, or Mateta. And for Sesko, I think is a good player overall. And he fits that role perfectly. He has strength, he has the aerial ability, he can shooting power. So I think we should do everything possible. Offload Rashford now, offload Anthony, offload Garnacho, Sancho, and fund the Benjamin Sesko transfer. 17 million can be enough to bring in LAMMENS. Then, come on, guys, we can do a deal with Sporting CP for Martin Højlund. That name is difficult to pronounce. Martin Højlund. Højlund. You're gonna help me how to pronounce that name. From Sporting CP, we can agree a loan deal with an obligation to buy for next season, guys, because we need a midfielder. After watching United versus Leeds, and also Amorim confirmed it, we lacked pace in midfield. And midfield is an engine. It's like an engine of a team. There's no way an aeroplane or a vehicle can operate without an engine. It can operate, but it won't operate perfectly. And it might be faulty, but cause accidents. So there's no way we're going to be competitive next season without a midfielder. Without that midfield. The midfield we saw against Leeds that should be the last time we are seeing that happening. We need pace in midfield. Casemiro doesn't have pace, and we need a midfielder. And I think Martin Højlund from Sporting CP, financially, he has the ability to be a midfield general in our team. If not for the funds involved, I think Carlos Baleba from Brighton is also a midfielder we should be going for. But now Brighton will price him for, I think, 100 million. Thanks for watching, guys.